Welcome back, everyone. This is Ben with Analog Love Song, and welcome to my unofficial Star Wars day. You might have saw the Mandalorian review I did earlier, and now I'm doing a book review for Star Wars Resistance Reborn by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is a journey to Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker movie, which comes out in a couple of weeks in December. As far as writing style goes, I will say this book is very clearly written. There's not a whole lot of fluff in it, which I like. You really get a good feeling for the characters. There's good descriptions of facial expressions. I will say, if you didn't like The Last Jedi, this book might be a good source for you because it kind of irons out some of the problems I've heard a lot of people have with The Last Jedi. In particular, it deals with the loss of Admiral Akbar and the Resistance leadership. Poe Dameron plays a big role in the book, and I would say he is the main character, followed closely by Princess Leia. As the title hints, The Resistance Reborn is about the reformation of the Resistance after the disastrous events of The Last Jedi. Poe's redemption is the main focus of this book. His failure is one of the biggest plot points of this book, and he has to kind of explain to a lot of the squadron people that he fights for what happened and that he did in fact fail, and his failure led to the loss of a lot of people within the Resistance. Besides Poe's redemption, the other big arc is the recovery of the fleet, and in fact the end of the book is a caper of sorts to get some more starships for the fleet. One character I'm glad to see come back is Wedge Antilles. He is a Star Wars classic character. He was in the original Star Wars trilogy, and he was a big character in a lot of the original Extended Universe books, and it's really good to see him come back here. There are a lot of side characters. I'm not sure if a lot of these characters are from other Extended Universe Star Wars stories or not. It was a little bit confusing at first, but Rebecca Roanhorse, the writer, does a good job of giving these characters distinct personalities, and after a while it wasn't a problem to keep up with who was who. And some of the characters who did survive this story, I'll be very interested to see if they do make it into the next Star Wars movie as either speaking characters or just people in the background. In classic Star Wars fashion, this book juggles a lot of stories, especially towards the end. There's a bunch of storylines going towards the climax, and they're juggled very well. As soon as I started to get slightly bored of a story, we'd jump to another storyline and continue with that, and it felt fresh. There were a few times in this book where I was starting to feel maybe a little bit bored, but as soon as that happened, Rebecca Roanhorse would kind of speed up the storytelling a little bit, and we would get to the next plot point. And so the book's pace was very, very good. In particular, I would say the last third of the book is very good, and I couldn't put it down for the last 100 pages. Had to finish it. I would say if you had a problem with The Last Jedi, you didn't like how it handled some of the big deaths like Admiral Akbar and the Resistance leaders, this book is for you. Because it is touched on in this book, I'm not sure if they will really talk about it in the next Star Wars movie. I will also say if you're a big fan of Rey or Finn, this book is not for you because they are not in it that much. Finn's in it a little bit more than Rey. He's in the last mission, but Rey just kind of hangs out on the new base with Leia. And from what I've heard, the relationship in The Rise of Skywalker between Rey and Leia is going to be a big focus, but in this book it really wasn't. Anytime Finn is in a scene, he's well written, and I could imagine the actors saying the lines that were written for him here in this book. Overall, I would give this book 4 stars out of 4. It's an easy read at 300 pages. You can read it before the next movie comes out. It flows well, it's well written, the characters are good, it advances the story of Star Wars from The Last Jedi. And until next time, may the Force be with you.